My name is Sarah Braun. I'm the Director of Admissions here at UMFK, and I will I will hand it over to Nicole and your intro, and then we'll do a little overview with your PowerPoint. Then we'll introduce Mindy and Taylor, and we'll get started with some question and answers at the end.
Sounds
So
good.
Nicole, take it away.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Sarah. Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole Boudreau. I'm a French professor, I guess by trade, but currently interim dean of arts and sciences and professional studies here at UMFK. So I will tell you a little bit about each of these programs. I'll just share my screen. I'm assuming I can do that. Oh, I think you need to enable screen sharing. There we go. Okay, is everyone able to see that? Yes, great. So, about the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences program, this is sort of a self-designed program. So if you're not really sure what you'd like to do, or if you have a really specific idea that doesn't fall maybe within the parameters of the programs that we offer, this might be a program for you. You can design your own major and minor, or you could potentially enroll in some of our existing minors, which I'll list on the next slide. And there's also a concentration in allied health, which exists within this program, which I'll talk about also on the next slide. So a few guidelines. As I mentioned, students in this program are not required to complete a specified major or minor. But if you do meet the requirements for a major or minor, you can have that recorded on your transcript. And if you're self-designing a major or minor with the advice of an advisor, you can also have that recorded on your transcript with the approval of the vice president or provost now. And students in the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences degree can take any course that's offered by the university for undergraduate credit, provided that you satisfy the prerequisites of those courses prior to enrolling. You can transfer into this program from other programs, and also credits that you accrue in this program can be applied as appropriate to other programs as well. And you can transfer into the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences program, provided you meet the GPA required for transfer within or between programs rather. So if you do enroll in the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences, some of the minors that you could pursue, you don't have to, but these are options. So we have art, behavioral science, biology, coaching. I won't read the whole list, but there they are. So you have quite a variety. And the concentration in allied health is sort of within the health sciences nursing program. So it's sort of a +2 where you get credit for work that you've already done and receive the degree with a concentration in allied health. So if you're looking for more specifics about that particular concentration, I would refer you to my counterpart in the nursing division, Dean Susi. So the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences is the 4-year sort of self-designed program, and the General Studies program would be the sort of 2-year version. So if you're not sure exactly where you're headed or what you would like to do, but you want to earn some college credit, the Associate of Arts degree in General Studies might be appropriate. And sort of like how you can enroll in a number of different minors within the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences program, you can choose from one of these concentrations for the general studies program. So there's accounting, behavioral science, business, computer science, etc. In terms of the education program, we do offer an education program that's what we call sort of a 2+2 with the University of Maine at Presque Isle. So students enrolling in this program would take their general education courses, electives here at UMFK, and do most of their education curriculum at a distance through the University of Maine at Presque Isle. And history and political science is much the same as the education program, where students would enroll here, do elective credits and general education courses here at UMFK. We do offer a number of history courses here at UMFK, but you would sort of expand the history coursework that you would have access to through remote learning at the University of Maine at Presque Isle. And also they offer a number of political science courses that we only have limited offerings here at UMFK. So I also would like to share just a sample degree plan. This does not apply to all of the programs that I've just talked about, but they would all have in common the general education requirements, aside from the general studies program, which is a 2-year degree, which would have a sort of reduced version of the gen ed requirements, but you would take courses such as English composition, speech, math, maybe college algebra. You would take an introduction to information technology, perhaps, music classes, intro to literature. You might take French or Spanish, introduction to psychology, sociology, maybe a biology class. So you take sort of a variety of courses in the general education curriculum. And then you would take a number of courses. If you're majoring in education, you would expect to have a number of education courses. If you're enrolled in the Bachelor of Arts and Science degree, you would get to choose. You might have a sort of cluster of courses in one subject area, or you may choose to take a variety. That would be up to you. So this is what a degree plan would look like. And you would work with your advisor, of course, to kind of plan your schedule and kind of fill this in as you go along, as you fulfill the requirements of your degree. A couple of other points. So what sorts of jobs and careers would you pursue with these degrees? So maybe a job in government. Obviously, if you're enrolled in an education program, you probably are looking at becoming a teacher. Depending on the concentrations or minors that you choose in the more self-designed programs, you may be looking at a job in accounting or human services, maybe IT, fish and wildlife, public safety, a number of different careers that you might pursue. And also, what kind of experiential learning opportunities would you have? Well, for example, this is not an exhaustive list, but for example, in the human service concentration, in the associate's degree, students are expected to work within campus and in the community as part of the pre-graduation evaluation. As the students who are joining us today can attest, student teaching is part of the education program, which is also an experiential learning opportunity. In conservation law and criminal justice concentration, students often participate in really elaborate mock investigations, which involve a number of faculty and staff on campus pretending to be people in a murder investigation, and the students get to interview them, and it's all very law and order. And the Gen Ed curriculum also provides opportunities for hands-on learning. You might find yourself in a biology lab dissecting different body parts, not human body parts, but
I heard they do cat and shark dissection here.
yeah, and like I saw eyeballs in there the other day. I didn't look too closely, but in any case, if that floats your boat, that's a possibility. You may learn to play a musical instrument in a music class, or maybe make art in studio. So that is what I wanted to share with you, and I'm wondering if folks have any questions.
Sure, yeah, at any time you can please type your questions in the chat box and I will read them out for our panelists. So feel free to do that now. I've got my eye on that. While you type any questions that you might have in the box, I'd like to introduce Mindy and then Taylor, and they are both education majors. So different, I believe, same year or same
Yeah.
year, education majors, and I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Mindy. I'm studying education,
Wonderful. And what year are you, Mindy?
freshman.
Great. And what about you, Taylor?
My name is Taylor. I'm also a freshman in the education program, and my concentration is early childhood.
Great. Now, we did kind of cover I did already get one question in so far. So I would love to talk about internships. So with your internship experience is really observation hours and student teaching. But I'll let you kind of explain what you're doing right now or what is in the future, that farther down the pike for you guys. And then Nicole, if you could discuss any internships possibly in history and political science, as well as any other, undecided and self-design internship experiences. But I know that history was a big kind of internship opportunity for this one student that asked. So Mindy, do you want to talk about any observation classes you've done so far, then Taylor, and then we'll go back to Dr. Boudreau.
I have been interning in second grade. It's a lot of hands-on. I've been following the teacher around and helping her out with the students, and pretty much it. Taylor?
I really like doing the field experience just because it gets you in the classroom really early on in the program. So that way you're able to see like if you really would like it or not. And for me personally, I don't know which grade I want to teach one day. So I've been visiting different age levels. I visited 4th grade, 1st grade, pre-K, all kinds of stuff. So it's a really great way to be able to get into the environment.
It kind of helps you. I studied teaching as well in my experience, and as much as I learned that, I could be a teacher, it's like it helps you figure out if you want to or not. That those hands-on experiences in any major. Mindy, what are some of I know you said you were working with a second grade teacher, and what are some of the tasks that she has you do throughout the day, if you wanted to elaborate a little bit on what you do every day in the classroom?
We do, she has me do one-on-one with, sometimes the students are adding and subtracting, spelling words, learning how to spell their words with flashcards. It's pretty basic.
One-on-ones.
Yeah,
That's great.
I like this second grade atmosphere, like just how they learn.
It's a
I like,
good age. I
yeah.
remember observing in some second grade classrooms, and they're at such a good age of they still are excited to come to school. They don't have
Right.
attitudes, or they think you're cool. Like they're cute at second grade. But Taylor, it's great that you're also getting this variety of all the way up to what, fourth grade, you said? Do they ever put
Yeah.
you in fifth or sixth grade too, or more towards the early childhood?
So for the first semester, we have to complete 20 hours with our intro to education class. And then the part 2 to that class is foundations of education, where we have to complete another 20 hours.
Mhm.
So next semester, I'm hoping to see some more grade levels, maybe middle school, kind
Wonderful.
of
And
get
you
the
guys
full
are
experience.
also taking general education courses in addition to your education courses, is that right?
Yeah.
And what kind of classes are you guys taking right now in addition to your education?
So for me, I had already had some credits from early college. So I'm kind of finishing up my gen eds right now. I don't have much left. So I'm kind of taking some art classes and first year experience and some stuff like that.
What about you, Mindy?
I'm doing first year experience and introduction to education.
Great. Now, Nicole, what kind of internship experiences do the other majors, other than education, what kind of internships are they doing?
Well, our business degree offers internships as well as computer application and justice. So those areas would certainly offer internships. In terms of the history program, I can't speak to what the University of Maine at Presque Isle offers in terms of internships, but I would say that, and it's possibly not really an option right at this moment, but an experiential learning experience that would be probably appropriate for a history or political science major would be a study abroad experience. But
Unfortunately, yes. A lot of the hands-on experiences, study abroad, internship opportunities, they are somewhat on hold due to the pandemic, but I'm hoping that by next fall, we're going to be back to normal and this won't be an issue. We'll have a vaccine, I'm hoping. So that we can get you guys out into the field, the prospective students who will be future Bengals, get you out there and experiencing what it's like to apply what you're learning in the classroom to a real world experience or situation, because that's so much of what learning is about. You can read about how to be a teacher, but until you are in the field like Mindy and Taylor, it's hard to see if you could actually, or if you want to do it. And that goes the same for history and self-designed students or general study students who are concentrating in one of the many concentrations we have within general studies. It's all about getting out there and figuring out, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? Or at least for the next few years until, people have career changes. So we help you at UMFK figure out what kind of experiences you want to have. So continue those questions coming in if you have them. Mindy and Taylor, I guess I'll ask you what kind of, I'm assuming you guys are going to go straight into applying to public schools in Maine, or because you both are from Maine and pretty local. So I guess if you want to elaborate on what kind of job opportunities you'll be looking for, or what UMFK and UMPI, since it's a 2+2 program, how they help you find those jobs is actually a good route to go with this conversation. Mindy or Taylor, you can take it away.
I can start.
Okay.
So I think that doing the field experience also helps us to get our foot in the door at the school. Like I said, I'm not sure what grade I want to teach, but as a teacher, there's just so many opportunities and different pathways you can take. And then even as a teacher, you can become a principal or a superintendent after the fact. You can be like Professor Lonnie Netto and teach teachers. So there's so many different pathways. It's really just what you want to do.
Mindy, do you have anything to add on that?
No, she said it really good.
Right? She covered it. And what about you, Nicole? What about opportunities? We kind of went over it in the PowerPoint, but do you have any graduating seniors who are getting ready to go into the job search process, and how are they receiving help in that, or what
Yeah,
kind of routes are they taking?
yeah, a lot of our students consult Tammy Delisle, who works in the Career Services Department, and she's very helpful in terms of crafting a good LinkedIn profile, drafting an impactful resume. She does mock interviews with, well, normally with people, actual employers. Now it's a little different, but Zoom interviews. She's also working on a virtual career fair.
It's almost like a reverse virtual
Yeah,
career fair where the employers are coming to see you instead of you going to see them. So they pick
right.
you out of
Mhm.
I guess a table of contents kind of thing, and they say, "Oh, I like this person's resume. I want to talk to so and so today." So
Yep, definitely a lot of opportunities to, yeah, to identify, potential jobs and work on job hunting skills.
and the UMaine system also has a very good database of that we've joined with the UMaine, the larger UMaine school, that all of us can use and get you contact information from employers, but also internships as well. So when it comes to internships and jobs, Tammy is a great person to go to, no matter what your major is, whether you're education, nursing, or cybersecurity. Like whoever you are at UMFK, there's that student support system there. What kind of, I'd love to hear from Mindy and Taylor, what your favorite aspect so far is within your major, or maybe a specific course that you're really enjoying.
I'm enjoying the EDU 152, the Introduction to Education, because it how my professor has most of the assignments is you're like the teacher,
Mhm.
and you're like the criteria, you're asking the questions, like what you would do with your students, and planning and prepping our students and the different learning styles that we're going to be working with. And yeah, pretty much that's my favorite class.
Are you doing a lot of lesson planning? I remember putting together like multiple lesson plans of giant, units, not just one lesson, but have you guys started lesson planning, or is that down the
No,
pike? That's that's probably more of the advanced education classes that you get along. I see Taylor nodding her head, so that's something to look forward to. What about you, Taylor? Do you have a favorite course or aspect of the major?
I would agree with Mindy in that the Introduction to Education course is my favorite so far, just because going back to what she said, it's very like personalized to the student. So for example, one of the things that we did was we made a mock teaching philosophy. So it's basically just a statement of your goals as a teacher and how you would be successful as a teacher, like in your own words. So I thought that was really interesting to do.
That, and you can get creative with that.
Mhm.
Kind of make an analogy or a metaphor, and teaching is like the open seas or something, and I'm the captain. I remember doing that. It's a lot of fun, and then you can kind of almost, when you're a teacher, use that in your own portfolio and create a classroom that's, I don't know, that matches your metaphor. You like the whole classroom is the open seas, and we're all the crew. So yeah, that's a great part of the education major here at UMFK. Do you have anything to add, Nicole, that you think we've forgotten about I feel like we've done a good job of speaking about education, but is there anything, do you think, that we've missed from the other majors? Or if students have any more questions, please feel free to add them now, because we did a good overview, and I think we asked some great questions, but I'll leave it up to you guys, if you have, the attendees, if you have more questions while Nicole tells us anything we might have missed.
No, I mean, I think we've sort of covered most of the bases. I would be happy to meet individually with any prospective students or their parents to discuss more specifics or put you in touch with sort of a discipline specific person who could better answer questions. But yeah.
And Nicole, if you, since you are willing to speak to prospective students, if you wanted to drop your contact information in the chat to the panelists, or I mean to the attendees, and that goes the same for Mindy and Taylor. If you are willing to speak to a prospective student and answer any questions they might have, if you want to put your info in the chat, then they'll be able to email or call. I'm also going to put something in the chat, which if we don't have an application from you or any registration, if you've never given us your contact information, I'm going to put an inquiry form that puts, so if you like what you heard today and you're interested in UMFK, you can then fill out the form so that we're on your radar and we're on yours. So two-way street so that we know that you're interested in UMFK, and that'll just put you on our mailing list, which we don't send hundreds or thousands of emails, so don't worry about that. But it also shows a demonstrated interest that, oh, okay, this person logged in on November 18th and they are interested in history. Let's talk to them more about the history major or education or undecided, whatever you might be. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. And I want to thank you all the panelists, Nicole, Mindy, Taylor, thank you for joining us today.
Yep.
And I'm sure our attendees, if they're not asking any questions, hopefully that means we answered all the ones they had and we gave them all the information they need. But in case you do, yeah.
Oh, sorry, just interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe we could also add in the chat our TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yes, you are reading my mind, Nicole.
Okay. Right.
No, it's okay. I usually do the plug actually when I do the inquiry form. So we are in the process right now of filming another TikTok. We are new to TikTok. If you're on TikTok, we're at UMFK ADM, and we're also on Instagram at the same handle. If you are on Facebook, you can like us at UMFK Life. And we put up fun stuff, but also admissions reminders like get your FAFSA in, or things like this, the project professor, and meeting our current students and our professors to talk about certain programs. So it's a mix of fun and business on our Instagram, and our TikTok is also, it's mostly fun there. So we'll be putting up a new video quite soon, and this one involves some of our current students and Benny, who is our Bengal tiger, who's our mascot. So social media is, we're on that, and then our mailing list. But if you ever need anything, admissions is right here. We're a phone call, email, Zoom away. And we want to just help you through the application process if you haven't started, or through the decision-making process if you've already been admitted or accepted. All right. Well, thank you to our panelists and thank you to our attendees for logging in. And I hope you guys all have a great Wednesday. I had to think about what day it was.
Thanks, and
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.